Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
ESPN's Rich Cimini is reporting the 3 revealing names to watch in the Jets coaching search. We'll talk about that, plus the latest with the Jets. It never ends. Boy Green joins us in his usual spot. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
But I'm just saying here, setting the record straight. This show is about positivity and having a good time and yucking it up. I love this show. I do this shit for free.
Yeah.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Before we bring on Boy Green, quick programming note. This Sunday, immediately after the Jets game, I will be hosting for 4 hours on ESPN New York. That's 8:80 a.m. in the tri-state area, or just download the ESPN New York app. So that's from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time, which means the usual Jake Asman post-game show for Jets and the Rams, that will start just after 8 o'clock once I hop off radio. So it's bad enough I might have to talk about this Jets game for 4 hours on the radio. We'll do at least another 2, I'd imagine, on YouTube right after. But I'm not complaining. It beats having a real job. So hopefully you guys can tune in on radio for my immediate reaction, and then again on YouTube in the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now in his weekly spot is fellow Jets content creator Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. What's up, BG?
Hey, it's great to see you, Jakey. Happy holidays. Mere days away from Christmas. And look at this. For the Jet content creating tree, what a beautiful gift. What a beautiful gift we keep getting from the New York Football Jets.
This 4-10 season has been a nightmare, but it has certainly been interesting to talk about in some respects. Like, just when you think, all right, what's going to happen now? I mean, it's never ending. And I don't think we're done. I think over these final 3 weeks, there's going to be something crazy that continues to happen, whether it's on the field or off the field, because that's basically been the season from the very beginning.
100%. But I'm trying to speculate what the thing could be, but we always get caught with something blindsided. It'll probably be a wild candidate. I think that's going to be the big one because the Jets are announcing all their GM candidates. There's going to be a name that's so off the wall that we both probably do a show on it going, what in God's green earth is this? So, and of course, the coaching search in itself is going to have a lot of twists and turns. So that's probably my guess for what the next big thing is over the next couple of weeks. But either way, man, we'll be here for everybody for it.
No doubt about it. If anyone has any questions or comments you want to make throughout the show, best way to do it is the super chat it in. We're about 45 memberships away from our next raffle. Our grand prize is a collection of New York Jets trading cards, including this one that arrived today, a 1970 Joe Willie Namath Topps card right here.
Wow.
So this is a throwback right here. You can tell how old looking it is by just taking a look at it. So if you want the 1970 Joe Namath Topps trading card, that and a collection of other great cards like the John Riggins card here, CJ Mosley. I tried to get some current Jets, Aaron Rodgers. That will be one of the prizes. And then a $50 gift certificate to Copper John's Beard Company for our second place prize. Third place prize will be an item from the Jake Asman merch store. We're doing raffles all month long. And as a reminder, every time you gift a membership or sign up yourself, that's a raffle ticket in the bucket of champions right here for your chance to win some prizes. So hopefully we do a raffle either tomorrow or we do it on Monday when we reset in the week. All right, a lot to talk about here. I want to get into some comments that were made by Rich Cimini on his Flight Deck podcast. This was Rich Cimini with what he's hearing. The latest is involving the New York Jets search for a head coach.
I think Vrabel is in the mix for the Jets. I told you a couple of weeks ago, he's interested. I think they're interested. I think Vrabel, Aaron Glenn, and Ben Johnson are the names to really watch for the Jets head coaching search. So if you ask me right now who are the top 3 guys, I would say those guys. But there's a long, long way to go. Remember, there's the Rooney Rule. Teams must interview at least 2 minorities with regard to head coaching and GM searches, and owners also must complete inclusive hiring training before starting the process, which may have delayed the Jets a little bit. But we are in full mode now. Of course, the Jets can do these interviews with Robinson and Dimitroff now because they are not affiliated with any teams. They will start interviewing people from teams as soon as the season is over. So this is going to go well into January before they get these 2 positions filled.
Okay, so the 3 names again that Rich Cimini just mentioned that he believes are the names to watch are Mike Vrabel, Aaron Glenn, and Ben Johnson.
Wow. Well, first off, Jake, I love the Rich Cimini action shot you had there with him in front of the mic. That was nice.
Oh, yeah.
That was well done. Yeah, that was good. For Jet fans, and I'm sure everyone's going to have polarizing opinions on these guys, I don't think while, again, and there's a lot of things you could say about the defensive guys, I think of that list, I think you can't go wrong. I think Vrabel's great because he's a guy that's done it before, and he's done it at a high level, and he's no BS guy, and maybe could clean up a lot of the crap that we've seen, including a lot of stuff we're seeing from the Athletic, whether or not you believe all that or not. So you have that one. You have AG, a coming home story. That would be such a wonderful story. I can imagine cool stuff the Jets could do if he was hired, and his arrival and throwbacks and all kinds of cool stuff they could do in the building for him. That'd be well received. And then Ben Johnson, while I think, Jake, you have the great take on it. If he comes here, awesome. It's the greatest thing since sliced bread. If he doesn't, screw you, bastard. You quirky freak. Fail and crash that ship. So, and he's an offensive guy, so you love that. AG coming home, and then Mike Vrabel. He's former coach of the year kind of guy. I think all of those, quite frankly, are great. So if those are the waters the Jets are swimming in, and by all accounts they are, from Rich Cimini, phenomenal. That means the Jets are going to finally get it right.
Out of those 3, the only one I think, no doubt about it, would take the job if offered is Aaron Glenn. I don't know if Mike Vrabel would take this job. I don't know if Ben Johnson would even take this job. But my number 1 guy is Vrabel. It's good that Cimini continues to say he's interested. Now, obviously, with this Athletic story, you do wonder if there's any pushback from Vrabel on that. But I think, if anything, it just puts more pressure on Woody to, in these interviews with candidates, say, look, here's what happened in the past. I've learned from it. I stepped in because I thought we had a good team, and I didn't trust the people that were here. I lost faith. You're going to have full carte blanche to do whatever you want. At least that's what you have to tell these candidates if you're serious about hiring them, especially Vrabel, who's probably going to have other opportunities. So that to me is the guy if you want someone with experience. If you're trying to bring in the next Sean McVay, the offensive guru, yeah, Ben Johnson would certainly interest me, but I really value experience with this search, Paul. So Vrabel's my guy. I rather Vrabel over Ben Johnson. That might sound crazy to some, but to me, I need the higher floor guy. I'm not as concerned about the adjustment from OC to being a head coach. If you hire a guy who's already been a coach of the year and has been to an AFC championship game with a pretty mediocre quarterback.
Yeah, and I think your sneaky side effect, again, it's not great that we have people making fun of the Jets left and right because of this Athletic report. It's not the first time that the Athletic has had a report like this, which has put the Jets in a bad light. That's bad publicly for the perception and people making jokes and everything else that's coming through for the Jets. But the good news is that the pressure was probably already on because the Jets haven't been to the playoffs in 14 seasons. But with this shit coming on, Woody and the rest of the regime, the front office, the brass, is even more pressure to say we need to stop all this bullshit of this clown circus that's been happening here and absolutely turn it up. So again, I'm loving the names I'm hearing from everybody, which is cool to see. So yeah, it's awesome. And to your point, my top 3 had been Monken, Vrabel, then Ben Johnson. So I had Vrabel over Ben Johnson too. So I agree with you a lot. There's a lot of Rich Cimini used the word quirky and weird when he was describing Ben Johnson before, and not to say he can't do it because obviously the creativity on the offense has been awesome to see in Detroit. It's so friggin' cool. A lot of people just blame the talent that's there as the reason why he's having that success. I don't know. It's hard to say, but it would be cool to have that kind of fun offense over here. But the fact that it would be sort of a guessing game, the same way it would be for AG, who's never been a head coach before. Same thing for Ben Johnson. A lot of these coordinators that would get that opportunity. So I'm fired up about the list, and man, the Jets, I think they're still, despite all the bullshit, the Athletic report and everything, this Jets job is attractive. They've got a lot of awesome players all over the place. They're going to have a top 10 pick. They've got a lot going for them that I think is going to intrigue people. I think AG for sure would take the job if offered for all the reasons he thinks it's a dream job. But I think Vrabel would take it too, man. I don't know. I think a lot of people would be interested in it, but I think if that was offered, and he has the chance. The Jets have the only GM opening in the league right now. I think that's attractive to a head coach because they can set the tone however they want. I think that's another reason why I think the Jets are incredibly attractive. You're not shackled with a Ryan Poles. You're not shackled with a Mickey Loomis. You're not shackled to a Trent Baalke. You can have a brand new, fresh start.
I'll tell you what. I've been thinking a lot about this.
Okay.
Yes, everyone's focused on the Jet mess and they get a ton of attention. What job is that attractive that's available right now? And you could even say Chicago is not as attractive as maybe some think it is because Caleb Williams has struggled. And there might be someone who goes, I don't know if I could fix him. There might be too much damage. Like, I think it's a better job because of the potential there. Don't get me wrong. But I don't even think Chicago is as attractive as it once was because you got the mess of Ryan Poles and then Kevin Warren's the team president, but he's seemingly overstepping and is involved in some football operation stuff. There's a lot of murkiness going on right now with the Bears. Maybe the Athletic could write a story on them. That'd be nice. But like I look around, the Giants are a complete dumpster fire right now, and the roster's bad. I think Dallas, in theory, could be a really attractive job, but I'm not convinced McCarthy's getting fired with how well they played with Cooper Rush, and maybe the injuries gives him a pass for another year. So you kind of look around the league. We can't sit here and act like all these other jobs are better than the Jets job. And to your point, Paul, the fact that they don't have a GM, and if they really want Vrabel, they say, look, we're going to hire you and we're going to have you help in the process of picking a GM you're comfortable with, that you want to work with. Because that, to me, is the best case scenario. Get the coach. I think the coach is more important than the general manager, given where the Jets are at right now. They need an alpha. They need a leader, someone that can push back on Woody that's not afraid. He can say, man, Brick Johnson, love you. You can't be in the locker room giving out game balls. That's not appropriate for the owner's son to be doing that. Like, that's just an example, but I just think someone who's not afraid to say, Woody, we know you want to win. Hey, trust me. And Woody will actually show trust in the guy because he's done it before. He's got experience.
The thing I'm afraid of, Jake, is this. What if the New England Patriots fired Gerard Mayo after year one? How would Vrabel not love coming home? He's a Patriot Hall of Famer and all that. I just hope that Robert Kraft sticks with Mayo for one more year because there's no way Vrabel's going through two coaching cycles without getting a job. He's getting a job somewhere. It's just dart throw, whether it's Jets or Bears or Saints or any of these teams, whoever ends up being the guy. I just hope the Patriots don't pull the trigger because if they do, I think Vrabel is going to be so tempted to just go back to New England where all that connective tissue already is. I just hope the Patriots hold on tight, and there would be nothing sweeter than him coming to the Jets, and then Mayo gets fired next year, and they're like, damn, we could have had, Vrabel. And I'm like, sucks to suck, sucker. We got a great coach.
Well, I do wonder, right? Would he choose New England over the Jets? And I think the immediate reaction is, yes, he's a former Patriot, but
yeah.
How does he feel about Robert Kraft not spending any money in free agency for years now? This has been a thing. How does he feel about working with the current general manager there, Elliott Wolf, who doesn't have an actual GM title? Like, it seems like there's a lot of hands in the cookie jar in New England. Like, I think Mike Vrabel obviously loves his time as a Patriot and whatnot, but how does he feel about Drake May? Does he think Drake May is a young quarterback he can win with, or is he just a guy? I don't know. I just think, if you're the Jets, you give Vrabel the opportunity to basically run the show. You pay him the most money, and you might be able to actually win that face-off. I know it's crazy to say aloud, but really look at that Patriot situation and just how bad the roster is. And if Drake May's not the guy, you're going to lose a lot of games before it gets better. And if you're Mike Vrabel, you only get probably one more chance of being a head coach. So you probably want to pick a team that you think you could win. I don't want to say right away, but you feel like there's an infrastructure in place that gives you the best chance to win, and it doesn't take that long.
And I'm curious if Vrabel's burned it all from getting passed over. They didn't even go to interview anybody else. They just went, it's clearly Mayo. And I saw a lot of Patriot fans that I know, they were slamming the table. Please, kick the tires on Vrabel. He's the guy. Bring him back home. And obviously the Patriots didn't do that. They just stayed within house. So I wonder if he will harbor any ill will there. I know he did an interview So maybe he was passed over, but wasn't like technically passed over because they didn't look over anybody. But I'll be kind of curious because that's what everyone says about Todd Monken, why he wouldn't consider the Jets, is because they interviewed him and said, we'll go Gates, buddy, and that he's apparently potentially burned from that. We'll see if Vrabel potentially has the same feelings. Again, who knows if New England even ones and dones him. Robert Kraft has come out and said on different occasions apparently that he wants to stick with Mayo, so hopefully he stays by his word.
Hopefully he sticks with mayo and puts plenty of it on his sandwich.
There you go, boy.
All right. 25 with a super chat. Surprised to not hear Flores in the mix. I still think Brian Flores will be in the mix. It just, according to Rich, he's not one of the 3 names right now to watch for. But, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out that, the Jets would be interested in the 2 Lions coordinators, and they'd be interested in Vrabel. I mean, they hired the 33rd team. Spielman last year spoke with all those candidates. So, I don't know. It's Cimini, so it carries more weight because Rich, has been covering the team forever. But I still think there's a strong scenario or a strong possibility Brian Flores gets an interview with the Jets.
Jake, look at the 3 GM candidates. All of them are former Patriots. Jim Nagy, John Robinson, and Thomas Dimitroff all came from the Patriots. Where did Brian Flores come from? New England Patriot. If any of those guys were hired, Brian Flores would 1,000% be in the mix again, because there's a chance it could be head coach first or GM first. GM first is more likely because there's less red tape before you could get your hands on these coaches. But yeah, maybe we're surprised we haven't heard Flores, although the Jets were in a unique position where a head coach has been in search of since week 6. So we've been talking about a lot of different possibilities. And remember, the Jets couldn't interview Brian Flores if they wanted to until at least after the regular season. And he's on a playoff team. The Vikings are going to the playoffs. So depending on how far and deep they go, that'll complicate it a little bit more for the Jets to evaluate that. I hope whoever they want, Lions, Vikings, this, that, or the other, if there's a guy you really like, please wait. Please wait through the process and get your guy. Don't rush and say, screw it, we can't get that guy for another 2 or 3 weeks because of playoffs. F that. Get the right guy.
Interesting question from Hennessy Heisman. He says, what is Allen doing here? Well, Hennessy, Allen's sentence in the hole has ended. But I'm a man of the people, Boy Green. So I'm willing to put a bounty on Allen. But I got to ask you in advance, if the Asmaniacs pay for Allen to be sent to the hole, he's just going to go on your channel because we simulcast your weekly appearance on the show on both channels. So you got to be willing to send him to the hole on your end as well. It's the only way this could work.
I would counter and say, whatever price we decide on, that Allen has to be banished to the hole on your channel, we will have to match that on the Boy Green channel. And then, sure, I'm all for throwing people in holes for money.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put a bounty on Allen. I will get that going. In the meantime, we say hello to Philly Noodles, who's got a super chat for us. We got the best 2 on the web covering our beloved Jets. Get all the likes turned up all the way.
Let's go, baby.
Amen. Indy Jets with a Boy Green super chat on your channel. I picked Flores over Vrabel. So I'm a Vrabel guy. Yeah. I like Brian Flores, so I'm not going to sit here and say, how could they hire Brian Flores? But if I'm comparing the resumes, I feel way better about Vrabel than I do Flores.
Yeah, Flores, again, has had success as a head coach. 2 of his 3 seasons were winning seasons. That's attractive for him. But the problem is that while Vrabel is a hard-nosed guy and has had some rubs with some players where there's been some disagreements, it isn't nearly as a black mark on the resume that it's been for Flores based on his issues with some of the Dolphins players that I've heard from people down there that cover Miami. So that's just something you have to be okay with, and we'll see if the Jets ultimately are with the Flores discovery. Maybe he's got good answers. Maybe he's evolved as a person. I don't know. But, if both were offered, I would prefer Vrabel over Flores. But, again, Flores is going to be a hard guy to be upset about. He's a New York guy. That's another, in a different way, coming home story. He's been a head coach before. It'd be hard to hate that.
Boy Green, I want your thoughts on Garrett Wilson's comments from yesterday. This was Garrett Wilson yesterday being asked about the Jets offering him a long-term contract extension this offseason.
If the Jets approach you about a contract extension, would you like to stay here long-term?
I don't know, man. I just do whatever, go about my day, however, be where my feet at, And if they do it, I would be a blessing. That'd be awesome. I love the Jets. At the end of the day, they were the ones that believed in me, so But yeah, I can't be worrying about all that. Just going to finish these 3 games the right way. But I don't know, man. I can't be looking into all that right now,
What do you make of those comments, Boy Green?
Well, I'm sure Jet fans would have loved to hear when he gets asked a direct question, if the Jets approach you about an extension, would you like to be here long term? I'm sure Jet fans did not like, I don't know, were the first words that came out of his mouth. But if you kept listening along to I don't know and a lot of word salad about, well, I want to be where my feet are at, I don't want to worry about that kind of stuff, I'm focused on football, he eventually did say, I love the Jets. If they came to me with that, that'd be awesome, because I love the Jets, but that's something to focus on basically in the future. And to be honest, Garrett Wilson, he has to maximize his leverage. He doesn't want to say, there's no doubt about it, I'm never going to any other team than the Jets. He has to do what's best interest of him. But to me, I think we've really blown a lot of stuff out of proportion. Rich Cimini on his podcast talked about how, and you did a full show on it, Jake, about people within Garrett Wilson's circle said that they believe, and it's speculation, that they believe he's going to request a trade after the year. First off, even if he requests a trade after the year, doesn't mean the Jets have to acquiesce to that. Deebo Samuel requested a trade. He got a long-term deal. T. Higgins requested a trade. He ended up playing football. So the Jets have team control over Garrett Wilson for the foreseeable future. They have next year. They have the 5th-year option. And then on top of that, they've got another 3 years of franchise tax if they wanted to use all that. So the Jets are in a fine position. I think people have overreacted to it. And I think when Garrett Wilson gets a big, fat, juicy offer on the table, which it should be the number one thing a new GM does, he is going to sign on the dotted line and become one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid player in New York Jets franchise history.
Holy crap, sound the alarm. Ladies and gentlemen, the bounty has been fulfilled. I don't care what YouTube says. Mike D's Nuts just dropped 20 channel memberships, $100 spent for the Asmaniacs. But first, he then wrote this super chat. Send the biggest fraud to the hole. Alan, while you're there, hold D's Nuts, you bum. Ladies and gentlemen, we say farewell to Alan on both channels.
Now look what you've done, Alan. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
Truly the stuff of legends right there. My God. All right, let's get some memberships on Boy Green's channel. So the original bounty was set at 10 light blue super chats. So 10 times 2 is $20. So someone's saying Boy Green a $20 super chat. I'll do it myself. Hell, after what Mikey's Nuts just did.
Okay.
We'll make sure it happens. But I mean, my God, just incredible. What a performance by Mike D's Nuts. I will do that, in fact. So hold on. Let me go on the.
Okay, there we go, baby.
Let me go on the Boy Green channel right now, and I'm going to gift. FPP just goes, keep Alan free.
Wow.
That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hold on. YouTube's taking some time for me to get to your channel here, but I'm gonna do it, man.
Okay. Wow.
I have no problem paying this forward. Mike D's Nuts demanded it. In fact, Mike D's Nuts hates Alan so much. And not only did he gift 20 memberships, he then spent an additional $5 just to let Alan know about D's Nuts.
Yeah. Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, when Mike gives memberships on the show, it's only fitting that we play this.
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership.
Oh, God, I love people.
Incredible. Here's what I'm going to do, Boy Green. I know we said it was only 20. I just gifted 10 memberships on your channel for $30 right now. So I'm giving you an extra 10 because you deserve it for coming on.
Hey, thanks, brother. There it is. Booyah. Okay. Let's read all these new members that Jake just gifted on the channel. Thank you so much, Jakey. Jason C., Louis Rivas, Party with Peg and Artie, King Saria, Rowan Marshall, GM, NYJ Dave, Garrett Loescher, Mr. McMoney, and Big Rush 2112, baby. There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, 10 memberships. Now throw Alan in the hole for 24 hours on your end in your comment section. And while Boy Green does that, let me shout out everyone who got a membership on my channel. Once again, appreciate everyone tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. You know, I don't even have the names in front of me, so I can't pull it up. But I will.
He has been sent to the hole, Jake. It's official. 24 hours. Alan, see you, pal.
See you, Alan. Fiore with a $10 super chat for us. Thank you, Fiore. By the way, for every raffle gifted, or every membership gifted, you get a raffle ticket. So D's Nuts is getting 20 tickets in the bucket of champions here, which means we need only 25 more members for another raffle. But every $20 super chat or more, you get 5 tickets for every $20 super chat. So I want to keep that as an option for people as well, because people watching on the phone, they can't gift from the phone. So just another way to get involved. Fiore writes in.
Yeah, Jake, I was just going to say, we put it down 10 raffle tickets for you, my friend. So, Jakey, thanks for the support. Hey now. There we go.
It's an honor. If I'm the Jets on Monday after the season ends, Vrabel is in the building, and he isn't leaving until he signs on the dotted line. Most important hire for this organization since Parcells was. Honestly, if you told me that was the Jets' strategy, I'm in.
Well, that's the good news, right? The Browns are eliminated from the playoffs. You can Monday his ass and have him in because you won't have to wait for all the other stuff. So, there you go.
I am in on that. And look, ultimately, he's got to want this job. But I think the one positive of firing Douglas and these articles all coming out now is that it gives you time to prepare for how you answer the questions any of the candidates might have on what the deal is in the building. Woody, what's the truth? Have you learned from this? Are you going to let me run it the way I want to run it? Am I going to have autonomy to do the job the way I need to do it if we're going to be successful here? I was in Tennessee. I saw what a dysfunctional organization could look like at the end when I'm not on the same page with the people I'm working with, when the owner doesn't act in the best interest of what I believe needs to be done. Like, what do you say to that? And hopefully the Jets could prep Woody with, here's what you say, Woody. And actions also speak louder than words, and so does cash. So you better be ready to pay up and make Mike Vrabel one of the highest paid people in the NFL, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get him.
Yeah, and it's going to be obviously Woody's got to be ready for it, because Vrabel and any self-respecting coach is going to have to ask those questions about all these crazy reports that have come out and said, hey, man, what is up with this? Have you evolved from this? Is this bullshit? Is this real? What from it is this, that, or the other? Because a Jet spokesperson in the Athletic article confirmed that some of the stuff was true and then said, Woody apologized for this. So some of it did happen, and Woody's going to have to answer for it. So there's some big boy conversations coming up here in the near future.
Honestly, the more you go through the article, right, I don't think the Madden stuff is true. I really don't.
That's bullshit.
I think it's just a gotcha thing, like a throwaway thing that Douglas could have said because he was pissed off the deal got shot down, but it wasn't because of Madden. Like, let's be real. I think Costello probably provided more context and a backstory to that. But the one thing from the article that I think is a real problem, like, you got Woody Johnson in the locker room after Mike White is playing a game with 6 fractured ribs saying you effing suck in front of his teammates. Like, that can't happen, man. I don't care how pissed off you are that you lost and the team was 7-4 and you're collapsing. Like, you gotta know your role, man. Like, you can't be in the locker room if you're gonna act that way. And I know he apologized, but like that stuff is a problem, right? Like that's the real issue. That's the stuff that needs to be cleaned up and rectified. The Madden stuff, I don't buy that. I think a lot of the article is Joe Douglas, Rex Hogan, Salas people, whatever, trying to excuse away why they didn't win enough and got fired. But like that stuff, that they acknowledge that happened because they said Woody apologized. Like, that can't ever happen. I mean, it's a couple of years ago, but you do wonder, is there anything else that's going to come out like after the season? Like, I don't know, but like, that to me is like unacceptable.
Yeah, those are the two major problems I had. The Woody in the locker room saying, you blanket suck, which apparently got back to Mike White, and then he had to apologize. And then the kids thing. I mean, the kids being in the locker room, either saying it straight to the players, which is fucked up, or they're like in a side room and they're speaking loud enough that the players hear them, where they're criticizing players openly, the weird game ball situation, all of it. That's just way too much. Again, the kids of the owners are going to get a lot of perks that normal people don't. But bullshit like that in the locker room is completely unprofessional. They're bringing, apparently, according to the Athletic, both friends that are girls and boys in the locker room. And Jake, I'm sure you've been in NFL locker rooms like me. Everyone's naked. Everyone's going around in there, and there's all kinds of business happening. Kids shouldn't be fucking around in there, especially unprofessional, where they're just mouthing off about players sucking or not, because like, this is real world, and someone's going to get smacked in the mouth for saying ridiculous stuff. Hey, Geno Smith in the locker room got sucker punched for over a bet thing. So to me, that's the kind of stuff that we need to completely curtail and clean up. That's the stuff that was most bothersome to me.
Mother effing Chew writes in, more whole money. Just incredible, man. People hate Allen, and it's great to see.
It's amazing.
Really is great to see. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in here. We're talking about a lot of things involving the Jets. Not all of them are good, as usual, but there's certainly a lot to discuss. As we look ahead to this game Sunday, Paul, how much stock do you put in Rodgers playing for the opportunity to be here next year? I think most Jet fans after the Seattle game were like, man, it's not going to happen. he might be shot. He's not going to be the quarterback. But now he's looked good 2 weeks in a row. Jacksonville stinks. We understand. Now it's a step up in competition. It's back in the cold. It's not like ideal weather conditions like it's been the last 2 games for the Jets. Your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and his future with this team down the stretch?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is motivated by a variety of things. And you saw, again, that 300-yard stat thing that came out, and he seemed so pissed. I'm like, you know what? I think he's going to get that 300-yard thing. And he did. I think another one is Matt Stafford, another old head that's been in the league forever. They're both former Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I think we're going to get a crazy shootout kind of game here between Rodgers and Stafford. I think Rodgers is going to put up video game numbers. I think he's motivated, not just for the potential of what you said, where he could come back next year. If this is the final run, I think he wants to go out guns a-blazing and putting up crazy points, putting up crazy numbers. And if this is it, let's go. Although my gut tells me Aaron is going to want to return next year. I think that's what it's all about. So, yeah, it's funny how things change. You come out of the bye, you're like, all right, Aaron, now's your time. You look shot in that second half, you're like, oh, man, maybe it's just not going to happen. And then you see the last 2 weeks have been incredible. So I think the incredible stuff is going to continue. But this is the real stuff. You smack around this piss-ass Jaguars team. What happens against the Rams that are in first place in the NFC West? What happens against the Bills who are fighting for the number 1 seed? You putting up, first off, beating them, sure, that would raise eyebrows, but putting up crazy-ass numbers going, holy shit, look at Aaron Rodgers here. I think that's going to be a telltale for me.
I completely agree. I think ultimately when you talk about him being back, I think it's one thing to look good against a bad Dolphins defense and a putrid, worse in the league Jaguars defense. It's another thing to play well when you're playing teams that are going to be in the playoffs that are way better when they need the game and you're playing for nothing. Like, let's see, I'm open to it. I did think Rodgers opened the door a little further for potentially being back when he said he'd be open to a pay cut. And he also said he'd mentor the hell out of any quarterback that the Jets brought in. If they hired the right coach and that coach decides he wants Rodgers back, you could convince me it's the right move. I think there's still a lot of factors that have to be worked out before you move forward with Rodgers. He might give you your best chance, but if he's not willing to learn a new system, if he's going to give pushback every step of the way to that, then I think it's probably a non-starter. So there's going to have to be some give and take on both sides. But I thought Rodgers was a pro and said the right thing when asked about it 2 days ago.
The stock has dramatically increased on Aaron Rodgers returning. You look at the Aaron Rodgers documentary on Netflix. All of that fired me up to want to bring him back. He gave those 2 golden boy answers on being willing to mentor a young quarterback coming in and say, I'm going to try to play as well as possible, where his ass stays on the bench and says that with a smile. That was great to me. I love that comment. And then taking a pay cut, he took the biggest pay cut in sports history, and the fact that he's even willing and open. As long as he's open, then who knows where that could potentially go, reworking the contract to play here. I just think it checks so many boxes, man. So let's go again. Let's bring him back.
Dano wants to know, Boy Green, did you want Rodgers gone a month ago like most people?
It took, I don't know how it was for other people, but for me, I rode the Aaron Rodgers train really hard this year saying there's other issues at play. There's other issues at play. And then once there was, I think it was 3 games in a row where he had 186 yards passing or fewer. That's when I'm like, you know what? Maybe he just doesn't have it. And because that's not winning football. This is a quarterback driven league. The rules are made that you should be lighting up passing numbers. And with his age and those statistics, I'm like, shit. Maybe he just doesn't have it, man, because I can't just keep excusing things for Aaron Rodgers. So that one for me, like many people, I said, man, you know what? I think it's over. We just got to go to another direction, go in a different direction. But like I said, I've completely flipped. I said I'm cool with whatever decision the GM and head coach make on Aaron Rodgers, but actually I've flipped it so much more that I'm ready to bring him back regardless of what they want to do, even though, again, that's not smart for setting up a potential bad first step with a new regime. But man, I think he's clearly the best option for 2025.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
How about 5 tickets in the raffle from Devin? He gifted a 5 spot of memberships. John Garcia, Rick Lima, SD Jet Fan, Christian Martin, and JB44 all receiving channel memberships. Congrats, Devin. Devin was the big winner of the Rodgers jersey from last week's giveaway.
I love Devin.
He's going for another one. He's going for another W. Tom Ace writes in, Jake/Boy Green, would you call an NFL locker room a sausage factory? I would actually. I would.
Yeah. Yes. I from experience. Yeah, there's a lot of sausage going on in there. Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of comments saying free Allen, and I just want you all to know right now that will never happen, baby. Not on this show. At least not for 24 hours.
I was about to say, it depends on I can be pushed financially. I'm like, you know what? No, there's nothing I would do. And they're like, here's a pile of money. You know what?
Ooh.
I'm now open. Could we each get an amount of money on both of our channels to unlock him to bring him back? And then I'd open the door if someone would want to lock him again. I'd be willing to continue to go back and forth on that. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I have too much respect for Mike D's nuts, so it would have to be double the amount so I can refund Mike his money.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
yep.
that's
so someone would have to really like Allen enough to basically spend $200, the 100 to bring him back, and 100 to refund Mike D's nuts. Because if that doesn't happen, I'm sorry, there's just no way.
Okay, I respect the line that has to be created, but there is a path. So for people, there is a path.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bo has just gifted 5 channel memberships. He's in the raffle, and you know what, Bo? I know how much you love Bobby Midnight, so this is for you. All right, here we go. 5 names here from Bo. Let's get them pulled up, and then we'll get to your calls coming up. Playwater 3-1, New York Jets Smoking Lounge, NC Vince, 2 dots, Shifty 49ers Talk, all receiving channel memberships. Welcome. Hit the like button, gift the membership if you want an opportunity to get a raffle ticket with your name. If you missed it earlier, one of the grand prizes in the assortment of New York Jets trading cards is this vintage 1970 Joe Namath trading card from Topps. It's old, and it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. So we will put that in the collection of trading cards. Second place will be, not even second place, just another winner will be $50 gift card to Copper John's Beard Company. And our third winner will receive a item of their choice from the Jake Asman merch store. So we'll probably be able to do the raffle either tomorrow or on Monday's show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to your calls. But first, a super chat from Mike D's Nuts. Jake, can I prepay for that bum for tomorrow's hole for that piece of trash? Mike, if you come up with $100 right now, I will absolutely put that towards Allen being in the hole for tomorrow or whenever he's in the next, whenever he's in the chat next. Absolutely. I'm a capitalist and Allen's a douche. So I'd be happy to. So the answer is yes, Mike. Thank you. All right. Let's get to your calls. Now let's say hello to Kyle Clifton, who's first up. What's up, Kyle?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Good. How are you?
So the more I look at these head coaching candidates, I obviously Vrabel is the number one guy. But you know how I am, Jake. I like to look at the pairings. Is it safe? Nagy has never been the guy before. He's never been a GM before. He's only been he's only been in personnel.
Yes,
correct.
Yep.
And he's been doing Senior Bowl stuff for how long now?
2018, 6 years.
So 6 years. Okay. And do we know if he has any existing relationship with Vrabel? He was there when Vrabel was a player, right?
Yeah.
With New England, yes, yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
Okay, so I mean that's interesting. I don't know if he has an existing relationship with him or Dimitrov. It's a possible pairing. I'm on record as saying that I like Gain and I like Joe Brady. And then after that, it starts to get a little hazy real quick. I don't know if it's Monken. I don't know if it's Glenn. There's some of these guys I just don't really care for. As far as Allen goes, I'm a free speech guy. I think that there's room on the show for a dissenting opinion. I understand that Jake is a capitalist and it's his show, but to have him banned day after day, I don't know if that's the right thing to do either. And I also
eventually the money might dry up though, because I agree. But
no, he's hard to take. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, Mike, look, they call me Jake Juan Soto Asman, so I go to the highest bidder. So if someone wants to pay for Allen's free speech rights, that's fine.
No, he's hard to take. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, I think there's room on the show for a dissenting opinion. I mean, for me, if there's anyone that's going to be banned, it's going to be Gary. He's the worst.
Well, do you remember when Allen boycotted the show for like 3 months?
I remember it very well. Yeah,
those were the happiest times of my life.
It was peace on earth. Yes, goodwill towards men. Yeah, I mean, but that's the this is what we get into when it's the Jets are 4-10 and there's a lot of backbiting going on in the middle of December.
I agree. I think the problem with Allen is not his takes; it's how nasty he is to the other callers in the show, including Mike D's nuts, who can't stand him. So that's where that rivalry stems from.
So my last point is I wanted to talk for a second about Graziano. It's the usual suspects time after time.
Every time
it's the people who have the grudges. And I wouldn't mind it so much if he elaborated on why he thinks that Rodgers was such a phony. He doesn't exactly ever say why. If it's a vax concern, then if he comes out and says that, he's just basically proving Rodgers right. And I didn't really care for Rodgers saying it's all about the vax. I didn't see that there was much there with that.
With certain guys, it is though, and Graziano is like one of those guys. I mean, Graziano last year had the audacity to go on national radio and rip the Jets and Aaron Rodgers' teammates for voting him most inspirational. And then if you watch this Netflix doc and see how much he cared and how he did do everything in his power to try and come back and play last year, the fact that he would go out there and rip his teammates for voting him most inspirational told me all I needed to know about that guy. And then there was a quote on Sunday from the Fox broadcast that Jeff Ulbrich basically told the guys that he said, quote, "I know players love their teammates, but I have never seen anyone get the kind of love and appreciation Aaron gets from his teammates here." So we could criticize Aaron Rodgers for his play, but the idea he hasn't done everything in his power to try and turn this team around and be a good leader, good teammate, like it's just not true. So Graziano, his comments hold no weight once again.
I can fault him for two things since he's been here. He should have gotten in front of the absence in the OTAs, and so Saleh didn't have to deal with it. That's on him. He has to deal with that question, not have Saleh carry his water for him. The other thing is, I thought he threw Mike Williams underneath the bus, even though he was probably right, and Williams ran the wrong route.
Fair.
So, but other than that, the guy's been terrific. So I don't understand what Graziano's talking about. I think that's all I got for that. I thought I had one other thing, but I appreciate your time, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
If you think of it, you let us know. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to get Boy Green's take on the Bobby Midnight situation. Have you been following the saga on the show?
I apparently have not.
So I'm seeing in the chat a lot of people are asking about it. So yesterday, for the first time ever, Bobby Midnight was sent to the hole.
Wow.
It was a shocking turn of events. It really was.
Is there a video package? What happened here?
Well, he was very upset that I went live at the same time his show was currently on the air.
Oh,
so
God.
he freaked out, even though I told him, "Hey, I'm going to start my show a little later. Like, you don't have to end yours or anything." But out of spite, he kept his show going, and he actually got so enraged he called into this show a couple times, but we kept sending him to the hole. And well, I'm just going to play you some reaction from his show while I was on the air. All right.
Okay.
This was Bobby Midnight going off on Craig in Australia, because Craig in Australia sent in a $20 super chat to this show that he's very conflicted because he loves Bobby, but he has to be loyal to my show because that's where he first discovered Bobby.
I can have my own show by myself. I don't kiss anybody's ass. Craig is kissing Jake's ass a lot. I know he's kissing Jake's ass. I'm surprised his lips are not still stuck to him. I don't see Craig in the chat. Do you guys see Craig in the chat? I don't see Craig in the chat.
He's in the chat.
I see his name, but I don't recognize him. You gave him a nice $20. And then what you wrote on that? Oh, yeah. I love you, Craig. I'm surprised your lips are not stuck to Jake's ass. I can't believe he actually put $20 and then said that crap. Oh, sure. Look at me. I have my lips stuck to Jake's ass all the time. Oh, I'm going to call her now. Tell Mrs. Craig she's beautiful and I don't know why she married you.
Oh, Tommy, Joe.
Unbelievable. Going in on one of the nicest callers we have, the great Craig in Australia. I hold this boomerang in such high regard. So, yeah, things were contentious. Bobby did not call into the first show today. So I don't know where things stand, but that's the latest. Basically. Bobby, he says he's not mad at me. I went on with Nick Shine last night, and him and I talked it through. But I don't know. You never know with Bobby. He hasn't called in since.
Well, Bobby has to call my show a month, and people keep saying, Paul, can you reveal the beef with myself and Bobby? And I said, there's a beef? And apparently that must have been something discussed on the Bobby Midnight Show, I guess, because apparently there's some sort of beef I was totally unaware of that's been going on. So I guess Bobby hates my guts, too.
It's sad. And here's the other incident that occurred as well. So have you been watching the show to see the rise of the great David T, who's been calling the show?
No, I must have missed that one, too.
So David is known for having some really good takes, but he holds the phone very close to his eye.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, he also has a beard, and David had a Santa Claus hat on yesterday, so he looked like Santa. This was Bobby going off on the great David T yesterday.
Shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
Jesus, good Lord, man.
A lot of anger. So I don't know where things stand. But
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now
boy,
on the Gusbuster hotline to talk about where everything stands is...
Well, you know, I'm getting really freaking pissed. I thought I saw Gary's pretty wife. I need to get some sleep. I'm happy.
Well, good afternoon, Jake. We
Hello, Bobby.
already squashed this up. Plus, I was taking my... remember what I told you yesterday? The world does not revolve around Jake. I don't have to call in every show. I was taking my daughter and her boyfriend out Christmas shopping, okay? That's why I didn't call in your precious show. I'm sorry. But we already made up yesterday. And
why'd you call in now?
We already made up. Because I'm here. I saw that. Then Boy Green had to talk about me. So I'm sticking up for myself.
Well, let's give you a chance to set the record straight then.
I just did. I went to take out my daughter to the... We already made up on Nick's show. Everything's dropped. Why are you bringing this up? Oh, and what you call it? Craig gave you 20. He gave me 50 yesterday. So.
Well,
hey,
I mean, he's a nicer guy than me. I mean, the way you badmouthed him and trashed him, I mean, I'd give you nothing.
Well, he gave me 50, so...
Hey, Bobby, so what's your beef with me? People keep saying that we have a beef. What happened?
Well, all right, let's discuss this.
Hold on. Right. If we're gonna discuss this, hold on. We have an order of things around here. If we're gonna discuss this, we do it like men.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
All right, so go ahead, Bobby. What happened?
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Okay, I'm sticking up for my friend Nick, okay? Remember, you lied on your show, too, but I saw the show when you said, oh, he had a good time at the tailgate, okay? You guys were 3 hours late, right? You were 3 hours late, right?
No.
And then you gave, yes, you were. Yes, you were. And you gave Nick a hard time about him dealing with the stuff, dealing with the tailgate. Yes,
what are you talking about?
Then you had breakfast the next day. Oh, what you talking about? See, you lie. You lie.
What are you talking? I'm trying to understand what you're accusing me of. I don't.
Oh my God! Nick said that you came in 3 hours late, and you gave him a hard time about that. Oh, you didn't set up the tailgate right. You got mad at him, and then the next morning,
did not get mad at Nick. No.
Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But where? Where did I get mad? I don't. Where is this coming from? I don't understand. You're saying I got mad. Mad at where?
It was because you came in. That's what Nick told me. Okay, that's why.
But Nick wasn't at this breakfast. So what? Who said this about the breakfast?
He wasn't at this breakfast. Somebody told him what you and your father and a VR said. Okay.
Okay.
Sitting around like doofuses, talk about my friend Nick.
Well,
okay,
Nick's my friend. He invited me to the tailgates. I thought I was friends with Nick.
No. You work together and you treat him like shit.
Wow.
So okay. You came. Yeah, you did. Okay, that's why I don't like you. Okay.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Jake, we already smash the problem we had yesterday. I came on Nick's show yesterday, and I said we make friends and all that now. Okay, so okay.
Where's your apology for David T?
Okay, I'm sorry, David T.
Look what you said about him. Do you remember?
Shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
Look at his eye. What are you doing?
You make fun of his eye all the time. Oh, let's get
never
an eye.
make fun of his eye. We put him on the screen, and he embraces it. He makes jokes.
Yeah,
and you're making fun of his
I
eye.
made a mistake.
Oh, look at his eye. Apologize to Santa Dave.
Oh God, Santa Dave, I love you. I forgive me, please. I love you. Okay.
There you go.
How's that?
Oh, wow.
Okay, and we made up yesterday. Why are you doing this shit back?
What are you talking about? When we spoke yesterday, I hadn't seen all these comments against my listeners. You can't take shots at Craig. You can't take shots at David T.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not.
You and I are fine. You don't have to call into the show if you didn't want it. Someone asked me earlier, "What's the latest?" I said you didn't call in on the first show.
Bobby didn't call in the first show today.
A lot of people are saying Gator wrote Bobby to the hole. I mean, should we put a bounty on Bobby and see if people agree?
Yeah, put a bounty on me again. I don't care.
I don't know. I thought you were a Capplefish, Bobby. Oh, he's gone. He just left on his own.
Oof.
Dylan writes in, Bobby is delusional. Tom A says, breakfast gate.
Apparently.
Yeah, a lot happening here. All right. Some super chats here. Ladies and gentlemen, this one's from Vinny. He says, does Bobby get a cut of his merch on your site? Money hungry. My guy, though. Love you, Bobby. He does. Yeah, we gave him a nice check from all the coffee mug sales. No one's bought one since, but 100%.
Wow.
Nate checks in. Boy Green, will you be doing a dual tailgate with Nick in 25?
So, I partnered up with Nick Shine. We did an awesome tailgate for week 3, Jets Patriots. I guess we didn't hammer out all the details, and a lot of people got upset. So we had a breakfast. See, Johnny Boy was there. Uncle VR was there. I'm trying to think of, I'm going to miss a bunch of people, I guess. It all came to this breakfast we were invited to, and people shared some their perspectives on the tailgate and how maybe we can improve it in 2025. I don't think there's any beef necessary, but apparently there is with Bobby. Yikes.
Bobby Midnight is very mad. Very, very mad. Nick Shine's in the house. He says Bobby's mad because he had to get the vitamins big fella sent the money for. Yeah, Bobby, I think you're having too much butter sticks. It's making you hangry. It's messing with your personality. Hennessy, he seemingly agrees. What did Gary put in that butter? Bobby changed. Ladies and gentlemen, for more on the latest with everything going on in the world of Bobby Midnight and his diet, and who knows what else might be discussed, we say hello to the czar of butter.
First of all, inflammation is caused by sugar and carbohydrates. Inflammation also causes anxiety. Anxiety and rage, I learned from my psychiatrist years ago, is the same emotion. One's inward, one's outward, but it's the same emotion. So reducing sugar, that's carbohydrates, would reduce anxiety, which is why people who go on the carnivore diet don't have anxiety anymore. Jordan Peterson will tell you all about that. See, I couldn't believe salads and vegetables were doing that to me. They are. So your comment like that, he's enraged because he's eating meat and butter, is ridiculous.
I didn't say meat. I said butter. I said butter sticks.
Okay. Butter is meat and protein. Butter is meat and butter is protein and fat. Meat is protein and fat. Right? He's eating turkey and chicken.
Do you fear salad?
Do I fear salad? No, because I don't eat it.
But it's trying to kill you.
But I don't eat it. It's only going to eat it.
Gary, I am going to kill you because you eat only butter. You need a salad like me.
I don't fear it because I don't eat it. Yeah, lettuce wants to live. In order for it to live, whatever tries to eat it has to die. That's the only way it can survive. A plant, like any living thing, wants to survive. It can't bite you, it can't sting you, it can't hook you, it can't trap you, but it can let off toxins, which they all do, to try to kill you so that it can live and you can die. This is not complicated. And then you have like morons that call in with the same name as me, Gary, that was his name, that said calories in, calories out, all calories are the same. There's no way he said that out loud. And you let him get away with that?
I thought he made some salient points.
You think a calorie of carbohydrates and a calorie of fat is the same thing? You know what carbohydrates do to your body?
I thought Gary B made some great points, and he has a great name.
Fructose blocks leptins. You know what leptin is? It's your hunger hormone.
What if I told you he's my favorite Gary that calls the show now?
I'm sure he is, because he says dumb things like calories in, calories. There's no way in 20. That's something someone said in the 1840s. There's no way he actually said that. No.
How do you know that was said in the 1840s?
Aren't a thing. What?
How do you know it was said in the 1840s? You weren't there.
That's where it came up from, a project. And then there was a study done in the 1940s during World War I called the Minnesota Starvation Project. In 1941, this is almost 100 years ago, that completely debunked that. No, because they starved people for like 6 months. And carbs in and calories in, calories out, that's not accurate. Your body isn't a combustion engine. We just throw things into it and explode. Your body is
let me ask you something. Do you think Bobby's recent outrage has anything to do with the fact that he's eating way more butter?
No, it has nothing to do with that. No, I don't know what is going on with this show. I stepped away for a day or two. I didn't even miss full shows. I only missed parts of shows. First, everybody hates Rob. Everyone's throwing tomatoes at Rob. Bobby and you were in a feud. I don't even know what's going on.
I have no feud with Bobby. Him and I are good. I just wanted to defend Craig in Australia, and I wanted to defend David T after the comments were made on his show yesterday that I didn't think were right. Bobby always sticks up for his friends. Why can't I stick up for mine, Gary?
I didn't say you can or you can't. I just don't know what it's like. You came home and there's like a big family fight, and your dad's stuff is on the front lawn, like Tony Soprano and Carmelo's throwing golf balls at him and stuff. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. What did I miss here? I don't know. But insulin and fructose block leptins, which is your hunger hormone, so you feel hungry when you eat sugar. You don't get that when you eat fats. That's why people like me who are carnivore, I'm on a 31-hour fast right now. I'll eat again in 5 hours.
Are you gonna have a bonus stick?
In 5 hours, I'll eat.
You're on a 31-hour fast right now.
I fast 2 days a week, so I do 5 days of eating and 2 days of fasting.
All right, here we go.
Now you're gonna tell me fasting is bad for you too, right? Fasting is literally the cure for everything.
I love fast.
But you can't fast because you eat or you could, but it's going to be a lot more unpleasant and uncomfortable because you eat sugar and carbs, which blocks leptins. That's your hunger hormone. I don't eat that. So 31 hours in, 31 hours and 1 minute in, I'm not hungry. Like, not really.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy has asked, can we get a bounty on Gary next? And as always, we leave the bounties up to the people. So a bounty has officially just been set for Gary. 10 super chats.
I'll take
any price point, and you are sent to the hole for the rest of the show.
I'm actually fine with that. But you can't let the guy that says calorie is a calorie, you can't let him get away with that. That was debunked 100 years ago. There's no way he said that. I know you do because you eat phthalates. That's why you think that's a good.
I eat salad, actually. I love salad.
I know. And that explains a lot. You're eating hundreds of toxins.
Thank you, Gary. Always providing a unique perspective. A couple comments I want to address, and we'll get right back to the calls here. Boy, Grant, I know you got to run too, so I just want to get these in.
Yes.
Tiffany says, Bobby used to be my favorite, but his recent mood swings are ridiculous, and he has no room to make fun of anyone else.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't get it. Yeah. I didn't know this side of Bobby until whatever happened. Like I said, apparently there was a beef that I had no idea even existed in this universe. And then, I've seen a lot of, you've played a couple of clips from his show. I've seen a lot of that kind of energy recently, which is disappointing because, Jake, I don't know if it's just your show, but your show is the thing that made me aware of Bobby's existence on the planet and the cool platform you've given him and all the cool stuff that you've done for him. So that's how I learned about Bobby. So it kind of sucks that we're getting some fire thrown out the other way.
John writes in, if Bobby had any class, he would have turned down Craig's $50. Strong point. Strong point. But Bobby could be bought. He's more shameless than I am. Jay writes in, Bobby has a butter stick up his butt. Tough to argue with that. The first of a couple bounties have been set. Georgie says, sorry, Gary. Hennessy writes in, makes sense why Bobby's upset the last 48 hours. Gio writes in, Bobby is the poster child of my body, my choice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring on the Gary who Gary mentioned in his call. Sane Gary's next. Hello, Sane Gary.
Oh, ouch. I didn't realize that was me. Yeah, I'm gonna
Wait, that wasn't you, actually. I think there was a third Gary then. It was Gary B, right?
There's too many of us. We got to really cut down on the numbers, cull the herd.
Did you make the calorie comment that seemingly triggered Gary, Butter Gary?
No, I eat far too unhealthy to concern myself about the dynamics of burning calories. But
ignore my intro to you, saying Gary. Just continue with your call.
Yeah, for potentially making myself less sane. I'm going to stick to the coaching topic, but yeah. To me, the coach that we go after, as much as I really like Vrabel, I think I'm not going to be upset if we hire Vrabel. I really want to see an offensive coach. Ben Johnson being the leading candidate for me, and I get there's concerns there. He's never been an offensive coach, but the biggest reason to me is that what do we do in 3 years from now if we hire Vrabel and, we need to find another offensive coach? And it's not even that we need to find another offensive coach, because if you hire Vrabel, you're saying, hey, he can find that guy. But to me, the issue is consistency, building that system year to year to where the players know the playbook in and out, where they've learned the playbook. They don't have to learn a new system. I mean, if we keep playing this musical chairs thing where the wide receiver needs to get on the same page with the quarterback and all this, it's just resetting that clock over and over and over again. And I really just want some consistency there. So to me, we really need to find that offensive coach. So I'm willing to take the risk that Ben Johnson or whoever, Monken, whoever it is that you want to go out and get, isn't going to be a good head coach if it means that, I can potentially have that consistency, because that to me is the most important thing, is year over year consistency.
I think it's well said, saying Gary. Good take. Boy Green, your thoughts on what he said.
Yeah, I would just say I don't want, and I'm not saying St. Gary is saying this, but I don't want any offensive coach despite anything. Like I would take like Arthur Smith over Mike Vrabel. I wouldn't. Of course, in a perfect world, you'd love the offensive guy because to St. Gary's point, that if you get to a successful place, your staff is going to get ravaged. Now, Jet fans would love that first world problem of being so good that people would want to scavenge and vulture their staff, I'm sure. But specifically with it, I would prefer an offensive coach. Ben Johnson's on that list. I don't feel great about Bobby Slowick. I have zero interest in Arthur Smith. So, I mean, we'd have to really vet through the list and see if there's some mystery candidates at offensive head coach. But again, I'm not totally opposed to Mike Vrabel. It's awesome. AG homecoming story and what he's done with that defense and kind of some of the motivational things. Some of the videos we've seen from Detroit is cool too. But yeah, perfect world, we get an offensive guy. But Jake, it doesn't always work out that way. Or if you have that mindset, sometimes you force a square peg into a round hole and you get a shitty coach.
Yeah, look, to me, it's about getting the best coach, offensive, defensive. Like I want the most established, experienced coach. That happens to be Vrabel, but I'll give you a guy I would take over Vrabel if he becomes available, Stefanski, because you get the best of both worlds. Yes. So, but we beggars can't be choosers with this, right? I think especially with this story coming out yesterday with Woody bringing his family in the locker room, and it's like I need someone that could stand up to Woody Johnson that Woody Johnson respects. I think he'd listen to Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's not going to get pushed around. He wouldn't take the job if he didn't feel comfortable with being able to deal with Woody in the first place.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel has cachet. That's the other thing that helps. So some of these guys like Ben Johnson have zero cachet outside of whatever made-up stuff that they have through Schefters of the world saying, hey, I want it this way and this way. He doesn't, besides what he's done with Detroit, which has been awesome, he doesn't have that power. Vrabel would have that power. He's obviously a three-time Super Bowl champion with his playing days. In the coaching world, he took a team to the AFC Championship game. His one division title has gone to the playoffs. If he came in, he would have ground to step on and say, hey, Woody, back out of the way if you really want me to fix this thing. I don't know if everyone from this group would have that same amount of chutzpah to be able to tell that to the rest.
Boy Green, I know you got to run. Appreciate you hopping on as always.
Yes, of course. I'll just give one shout out. I don't even know if you could still find this one, Jake, but I saw one super chat. I can't remember if we answered this one earlier from Hennessy Heisman saying glad Rodgers wants to keep the new quarterback on the bench because we will need a Jalen Milroe or Jackson Dart to sit for a year. Vrabel will be hired a week after the season is his prediction. So salute to Hennessy Heisman. That'd be great. And come on, the perfect world is Aaron Rodgers playing in 2025 and having some young guy developing behind him on the bench and let's roll. I think that's the best plan.
I did not see that super chat. It didn't come up on my end, so I'm glad you acknowledged it. Boy Green, have a great weekend, and who knows, maybe the Jets will win 2 straight on Sunday.
We'll see. Well, good luck with your beef or no beef with Bobby, but it's been a lot of fun.
Boy Green, everyone. One of the greats. Check out his channel, Boy Green, daily, each and every day. He's live at 7:30. Look, I have no beef with Bobby. I simply just wanted him to apologize to David T. and Craig in Australia, and then Bobby couldn't wait to say, oh, Craig gave you a $20 super chat. He gave me a $50 Venmo. Ugh. Sad. Sad to see what's happened to Bob. Glenn with a good question here. Why not hire a coach now? This way you can get started. Because a lot of the guys the Jets want to talk to, you're not allowed to talk to yet. They're with teams. Like Mike Vrabel is a consultant for the Browns. So you can't hire him. You can't hire Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, Brian Flores. These guys have jobs. You could hire John Gruden or Rex Ryan right now, but I think Jet fans are going to want to have a long process where you get a chance to talk to everyone. You can talk to guys who don't work for teams. That's why they've been able to interview Thomas Dimitroff and John Robinson and Jim Nagy, all guys who aren't with teams for the prospective GM job. Kyle with a super chat. Gary can be silenced. I'm fine with that. So Kyle believes in free speech for Allen, but not for Gary. Very interesting. Mike D's Nuts writes in, Gary resorting to name, I guess it maybe means name calling, isn't very high IQ per him, and Bobby shouldn't be talking about someone's wife like that. Craig is a great guy, supported him. Wild. I know, I thought Bobby was out of line. That's why I played the Craig clip. And we hold people accountable around here. Let's see. Make sure we didn't miss any super chats. I don't think we did. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Bo, who's next. What's up, Bo?
What's going on, Jake?
How are you, Bo?
Fantastic. I wanted to thank you. I received your Asmaniac sweatshirt.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Good pick.
It was fantastic to get that.
Hey, you deserved it, man. You had a lot of raffle tickets, so I'm glad you won something.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Wanted to talk about the coaching and the culture, really. I played a lot of football throughout my life. I just stopped playing football until I was 40. But there's a difference between having a coach who this is my Vrabel pitch, by the way. There's a difference between having a coach who literally is your friend as opposed to having a coach who is going to grab you by the face mask and let you know exactly what you did wrong. And I think that's what Vrabel brings to the table. I can't speak for the other coaches because I think they're a little soft. Even Rex was a little bit soft in that regards because he was more buddy with the players than he was, Vrabel style. I think Vrabel is the culture that we need to make this team crest over the edge. That's my opinion.
I'm with you. I mean, I've said it from the beginning, and if not him, I think Flores has similar qualities they're looking for. I think John Gruden's got similar qualities and what they're looking for. Even Rex too. I am very weary of bringing in like first-time coordinator, never been a head coach before, and getting eaten alive by the media, pressure, expectations from the fans, impatience from an owner if he thinks it's not working. I need someone that's done it before. This is not someone that works in an NFL front office texted me this a couple of weeks back, and I shared it on the show. I keep thinking about this quote. These are not jobs for first-timers, referring to the Jets GM and head coach opening. And like for once, it'd be nice to hire 2 guys that have done it before. Like I think Thomas Dimitroff, for example, deserves a second chance. Like that'd be great. I think Mike Vrabel clearly deserves a second chance. Brian Flores, you could argue, deserves a second chance. Like I want experience, man. That's my big thing, Bo.
Absolutely. That's all I had for everybody in the chat. Hi, all the peeps.
Bo,
Jake,
appreciate you, man.
Job. Thank you, man.
Great call. Bo, check it in. Bo C. Boomtown says, Bo, you're reaching your limit of great takes in one call. Love it. We need Bo to call more. He's always in the chat, though, supporting. Let's see. We got a bunch of people on hold here. I promise we will get to you. So make sure you're ready to roll. You never know when we might come to you. Comments, questions, and your super chats. Those will always cut the line around here. Let's say hello to Philly Noodles, who's next. What's up, Philly?
What's going on, Jake?
Here we go.
You know what time it is. So we got to totem because we're dealing with too much nonsense in the channel right now. So we got to take on the Rams, right? That's the first priority. We got to beat the Rams. Then we got to beat Bobby's butter issues because it's Buttergate. That's why he's got the problems. This will knock out and solve this issue here, all right? This new terrible issue. And then, of course, at the bottom, we free Bobby. So if we beat the Rams, we burn the butter, we get Brick out of the situation, and we can free Bobby. So let's get this going. If Rabel can cut off his manhood, I think I can burn a Ram here. So this is to Vrabel. My take and everyone's take should still be Vrabel, number one option. I understand Gary before in his take, that other Gary. The problem is with an offensive-minded coach, you know, who's to say like the Steelers and Ravens? They're not offensive-minded coaches. There's consistency. Not every quarterback you draft, like Andy Reid, is Patrick Mahomes. So if he wants that, he should want Borgonzi as the GM because he's able to find the right talent at QB with Andy Reid. So if we do hire an offensive-minded coach, he needs a GM that's going to know how to scout that out. So you can look at Borgonzi or even the kid Greeny, the other Greeny from Long Island with Tampa Bay. Maybe he brings Cohen over. That's a good fit. Well, we burning out here. All right, everybody. This is for Bobby. Let's free Bobby. This is the totem burn. Free Bobby of his illnesses from the butter. The butter.
Dr. Nesnip says, don't breathe in those plastic fumes.
No, I will not. No, I won't. I'm good.
Purple Belt Mike says, man's going to burn his house down.
No.
Dixon says, that Ram going to outlast the lighter.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I think that's Matt Stafford right there. Look at that. You try to take him out, you still can't. Yeah. We'll just keep it going. But I don't know. What do you think about my take? I think Cohen with Greenberg would be kind of like, if we don't go Vrabel, I think that would be a pretty good idea.
I want someone that's not a first timer, but if you are going to hire a first timer, it better be an offensive guy because I can't do the first time defensive coach again.
And I think Ben Johnson brings too much of already this attitude where
I don't think he'd want the job. I think he's only going to go somewhere where they have a quarterback in place.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens, but yeah, this is the totem to burn Bobby out of his misery. His angry calls. He just took out Paul Boy Green. I mean, that was wild. You don't do that. You don't.
Yeah.
That's like unknown.
Boy Green had no idea they even had a beef. That was shocking.
With Nick Shine, the guy he hangs out with. What are we doing out here? You know what I mean? I don't know, but let's just keep it going. I mean, what are we doing here? Let's just keep burning away. I'm not burning in these. I'm not smelling the fumes, but it's getting there.
Philly, you keep doing your thing, man. Good call. Cactus Johnny says, Gary thinks plastic is more healthy to consume than plants. Gary, is this true?
No, and that's why you should stop eating phthalates. What do you think's more nutritious for you, butter or phthalates?
I don't know what you're talking about. You asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Well, what do you think's more nutritious, butter or phthalates?
How do you spell the second word you're saying there?
Phthalates? Oh, it's spelled with a P. Let me see if I can find it. PTH, I think. Yeah, PTHALATE.
Is that word what a plastic is? I feel like plastic and whatever you're trying to say are two different things.
See, you don't even know what you eat.
Well, what do you think is healthier? Eating plastic or a salad? Let's be very specific.
I already said a salad is healthier than eating plastics. And then I asked you what's healthier to eat, phthalates or butter? Phthalates like you eat or butter like Bobby eats? What do you think?
I think my Chipotle is healthier than butter.
That is a special kind of. You're eating plastics.
What are you talking about? I'm having chicken, steak. I'm having some rice. I'm having some beans. I'm having a little guac. I think it's healthier than eating butter every day. Yep. I think I get protein. I think I get some rice. I think it's good.
Yeah. So you're saying that's not Chipotle's food does not contain phthalates? That's what you're saying?
I'm saying my Chipotle, if I have my Chipotle order every day, I will be healthier than if I just eat butter sticks every day.
So yeah, just butter sticks, sure.
Right, but that's what we're talking.
Meat.
No.
He's also eating meat.
We're talking specifically butter sticks. You argue that a butter stick is better than a salad.
What's better, phthalates or butter? Bobby eats butter, not phthalates. You eat phthalates, not butter. What's better, butter or phthalates?
I think my Chipotle's better. I don't even know what a
Okay, now
phthalate is.
now on to the question. Which one's better, phthalates or butter?
I think my Chipotle's better.
That's not what I asked you.
But you're saying there's you're saying
can only eat one.
You're saying
you can't even call one food, but you can only eat two things: butter or phthalates. Butter like Bobby eats, or phthalates like you eat. Which one would you rather eat?
I'm going to choose my Chipotle. Well, you just said my Chipotle has phthalates in it, so I'm going with that.
Now on to the question: butter or phthalates? Which is more nutritious?
Oh, I'll answer your question, but you got to answer my question first.
I've answered your question 3 times. I said you should eat salad instead of plastics.
You haven't. You've never given me an answer to this question, so let's bring it back. What is healthier for you to consume? A Caesar salad or smoke 1 cigarette a day? Eat 1 salad a day or smoke 1 cigarette a day? You won't ever give the answer to that, so I won't answer your question.
Because there's no answer to the question.
So this is what I'm talking about. And you want me to answer your question before you answer mine. Are you out of your mind?
I asked the question first.
Are you nuts?
And then you came on and just said,
are you nuts, Gary? What do you think this is here? All right, this is not some amateur program.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
I mean, come on now. Kyle says, super chat, cancel the Gary nutrition era. Gary should go fillet himself. Kyle, your super chats will go to the goal if it's on my channel. Boy Green's channel, it doesn't count. YouTube hasn't figured that out. We're 7 super chats away from the hole for Gary, by the way. There was a bounty put on one earlier. I enjoy Gary, but, I'm a capitalist. I got to call it for what it is. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Vinny's on the line. Hey, Vinny.
What's going on, Jake? How you,
What's
man?
up, Vinny?
Hey, doing well, man. Hey, I want to say appreciate it. You just sent me a hoodie down there in North Carolina.
Oh, that's right. You won one of the raffles, right? That's awesome.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I got to say, you ain't going to like this, but Gary's right. I mean, if Gary's still there, I'd love to talk to him, man, because the type of shit he did actually helped me out a lot. So,
how much butter did you have?
Well, listen. The butter, I mean, what he does with like the ground beef and the bacon and the butter, that's a perfect diet. I'm not going to say I do that. But I do the fasting like he does.
I'm not anti-fasting at all. I've done intermittent fasting for years.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I'm on 21 out.
I simply would push back on Bobby Midnight's diet. He's having way too much butter. He doesn't get enough exercise, and he doesn't eat enough protein. So I don't think it's truly good for his diet.
I would say, Bobby, maybe half a stick of butter, ground beef, and bacon, and just eat that just once a day. Maybe a pound of ground beef, about a pound of bacon, and maybe a half a stick of butter. We'll roll with that. I think he'd be perfect for him.
All right.
Hey, anyway, have a good one, my man.
Vinny, thank you. I love how Vinny called in to talk about nutrition and not the Jets. Mike D's Nuts says, donation for the hole. Well, we're getting closer now. The Lane train's in the house. Lane, when are you calling into this show? I see you on everyone else's show. Who do you want to start for the Jets on Sunday? I would like Aaron Rodgers to start Sunday, Lane. Who would you want? You tell me. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls. Let's say hello to Ricky NY. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, how's it going, Jake?
What's up, Ricky? Nice shirt. We're matching.
Right on. Great minds think alike. I've got a couple of things to say today. As far as the kid being in the locker room, honestly, I don't have a problem with it as long as he conducts himself professionally in the right way. I mean, Woody's not getting any younger. Okay, maybe he's grooming the kid to take over when he eventually leaves us. But you gotta be a professional. You gotta conduct yourself as a professional. You can't be bad mouthing players where they can hear it and stuff like that. I will agree with that. But I mean, who are we to say that he shouldn't have his kid who's the probably heir apparent to our franchise around the organization and show him the ropes. So
I think it's one of those things, Ricky, where it's like these things only come up because the team's losing. Like it happens elsewhere, but like the Brick Johnson stuff, that I'm not overly concerned about that. I think the one thing from the story that the Jets themselves said is true was the Mike White stuff. Like you can't have anyone associated with ownership, whether it's the owner himself or Brick and Jack Johnson after the Cleveland game last year. Apparently they were going around saying like players suck and people heard them. Like that can't happen. Like And that's not on them. They're teenagers. That's on the parents. Like, where's Woody Johnson and his wife? Like, making sure that's not a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know what? All of us are pissed when the team is losing. You know, all of us right here probably say a lot of things like that, but we don't say it where the players can hear it, which is, like I said, you got to conduct yourself like a professional. You know, that hit piece, that's exactly what it was, is a hit piece. I'm absolutely shocked at the number of grown adults that actually think that Woody Johnson vetoed a trade due to a Madden rating. That, yes, that's what happened. Woody was on his headset talking smack with his buddies, playing Call of Duty, and got tired for a minute and decided to look up Madden ratings. That's what happened. Woody probably couldn't even find a Madden rating if he had to. That's just silly. But since there's been some bounties today, Jake, I am not going to ask for a bounty. I am going to demand a bounty. Okay. That meathead from Glenhead needs a bounty put on him because of the way he treated my friend Jaden on this very show. Chat, back me up on this. That guy's comments were way out of line. He sucks. And we definitely need a bounty on Rob.
Now, have you seen his apology from the first show today, though? That's the only thing I'll say.
Oh, no, I did not. I was sleeping.
Right. Well, watch it back. I think it was sincere. I did run it up the poll. I said, do you accept Rob's apology? And it was like 85-10. Yes. So, you know, I understand if that's how you feel, but watch back the first show. Maybe your opinion will be changed. That's all I would add. But if you want a bounty on Rob, I mean, it is a free country. We'll put it up and people can decide if we go through with it.
Yeah, I'm a fair person, so I'll give the benefit of the doubt until I watch that back. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these tomatoes now. But,
also, I realized I said 85-10. I meant to say 90-10. I don't know why I said 85. That does not add up to 100, but continue.
Right on. All right. Well, have a great show. Have a great day, and go Jets.
Ricky, you're the best, man. Appreciate you as always. And Ricky calling from the phone. We figured out how to get his calls to work on this program. Don't use the computer. Just use the cell phone. Steve writes in, if we were 10-4, would we be talking about eating butter? Gary, do you think we'd be talking about eating butter or your weird diets if the Jets didn't suck?
No, I don't think any of these feuds would be going on. I don't think the Rob feud would be going on. I don't even know what the hell happened. What happened with you and Bobby? I don't even understand that. I don't think any of these things would be. If we were 10-4, no, none of these things would be going on. Definitely not.
Look, the whole thing with Bobby yesterday, I wasn't going to say anything. You know, I said yesterday I was going to go a little live later than normal, right? Normally I'm live around 4:15, Monday through Friday, but I had something yesterday, so the show started around 5:40 yesterday, and Bobby happened to be on, and you know, he took some shots at me on the air.
Well, I'm staying on. I don't give a crap for that.
How much Jets content do we really need at this point?
No, he said planning on going live around 5:30. Oh, a lot happened then to discuss. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot. Yeah, no, I'm staying right here. We're going a long time. Alan is here. Alan, how you doing? I told you, do not give him any more money. If he's going to continue to throw you in the hole, do not give him any money. Treat him like shit then.
Look, I love Bobby. I'm sure he's having a bad moment there, but two things. First, when I was fighting, I always wanted to fight the best, right? Just bring it on. Like, you want to go up against me? We can do that. You get your audience, I get mine. And either I beat you or you beat me and I learn for the next time. So either way, I win. I either get better or I beat you. So, you know, you want to go on against me? Bring it on. Like,
now, Bobby and I are all good. You know, we spoke last night. You know, he said, I'm sorry. But the problem was, it wasn't me I was sticking up for today when you caught the show. He happened to go off on two of the nicest people I've met since doing the show. First one being David Tate.
Shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
I don't know what. Wow. Bob, I love you. If you need to talk, call me. I love you. I want to make sure you're not in a bad place or anything. You got my number. If anything's wrong, please feel free to call me. I don't know what's going on, but like there's people, including me, who love you and want the best for you, man. I don't know why you're.
And then today he went at Boy Green, but there was also the comments about Craig in Australia. So I'm all good with Bobby. And someone asked me where he was. I said he didn't call the first show. I'm like, he might be boycotting again. I don't know. And then he called in, and you saw that whole sequence. So Bobby and I are good. I just,
Let me ask you a question, though. When Bobby apologized to you, you said that's cool. It seems sincere, and you moved on.
It happened on Nick Shine's show last night, of course.
All right. So, why can't people treat Rob? Look, you know, people have called me sexist, Jake. You know, people have done that.
Well, you do hate women, so it makes sense.
I hate women. If I hate women, I made a really strange choice in who I married. Like that's a really weird choice. If I hate women, but like it doesn't bother me. You can call me sexist, and you may or may not have some validity to that statement. Like depends, I guess, how you define sexist. But like when someone apologizes sincerely, not like female apology, Cimini. So it gives you a sincere apology. You accept it and you move on, right? Like, okay, you don't hold a grudge forever. You see what I'm getting at here with Rob? With Rob?
Look,
Rob's a good dude.
I accepted his apology. He apologized. I thought he was sincere. I have no issues with Rob. I can't tell the entire chat that was offended by what he said to forgive him. Like that's up for each individual to decide.
That's true too. I mean, that's fair, but it's like
Jaden accepted his apology, as Mike D's Nuts wrote in. So in my mind, it's settled. It's all good.
Yeah, I don't like if you have somebody to apologize, it's Jaden. It's not me or you or anyone in the chat. Like it's Jaden.
Speaking of women, Lane wants to know, hi Gary, how is your wife?
She's good. She's out of town. She comes back tonight though. She'll be back tonight. She's
oh
good,
God, you're in charge of all the kids?
Yeah, because Morgan is in New Jersey. I shouldn't say that. She's got family. She's military.
Oh, is she?
She's got family. She's in New Jersey right now for Christmas. She'll be there till 29th, I think she comes back because we got her again the 30th.
Does she want two tickets to the Jets game Sunday?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I can ask. I'm sure she has plans that don't include going. She's not a Jets fan. I'm sure she got plans.
But it's football. What's better than watching Jets Rams in 20-degree weather?
Yeah, I agree. Like football inside is a little bit P word, but I would go to a lot more games if there were more games. Like if the Jets played inside, I'd go to a lot more games. But it is kind of P word to play football, an outdoor sport inside. I agree with that.
I see. Speaking of women, Rob, I want your. Sorry, I screwed this up. Speaking of women, Gary, I want your take on what Rob was referring to here.
Women.
We've all been there. You know what he's referring to. He got yelled at by some woman for something, and he doesn't know what he did. And she's, I'm not telling you kind of thing. You know what it is. We've all been there.
Yeah, but hold on. There's more.
Alan's wife.
I think that's a little. Look, if you got a problem with me or Alan, talk about us. Don't go after wives. And I know that's dubbed. I know he didn't say Alan's wife.
Pornhub.
Lay off the porn and the carbohydrates, and you'll be healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Well said, Gary.
Porn is so degenerate.
Well, you let me know about Morgan. All right, I got 2 tickets.
I will send a text. I would 99% certain tell you she doesn't want to go or has something else. But I feel like if I send her there, I'm sending her into like a feeding frenzy of Asmaniacs. We're all gonna like go crazy over her. I don't know if it's the safest place for her to be. She'd probably go with her sister, which would just make it like twice as bad.
Interesting. Well, you let me know.
I will let you know, Jay. I appreciate the offer. I will.
Gary, anything for you. Enjoy the butter. All right, more of your calls right now. Purple Belt Mike joins us next. Hello, Mike.
What up? I'm cooking some steak, so I know Gary will be happy.
Ooh.
So Philly noodles. Look, dude, you gotta get a torch, bro. You gotta get one of these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Give us a little PBM on the barbecue.
Yeah, baby. This will light that thing up.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's see what I'm cooking. Got some piece of sirloin. And I feel like shit, so I'm going to hang up. More. Just sucks. But look at that baby. I just put it on. That's what I'm talking about. That's going to be nice. It's going to be medium rare. It's going to be beautiful.
Any butter?
But actually, I did melted butter and I coated it in butter. Yeah, I did. Definitely not the healthiest choice, but the tastiest for sure. But
Mike, you enjoy it, all right?
Yeah, I got my Jets salute to service on. So, all right, brother. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Purple Belt Mike wanted to let everyone know that he's braving the elements. And he's going to be barbecuing tonight. Stack makes a great point. Hit the like button. It's free. He's not wrong. Once again, every channel membership that we get, you get a raffle ticket with your name on it. We've added a bunch of members this show. So we're pacing to have another raffle Monday for the collection of trading cards led by the 1970 Joe Willie Namath Topps card, which is pretty sick. And then the grand prize of them all, this autographed card by Zach Wilson, Jet legend. Just kidding. But I do have some other cards that will be included with the Namath one, Quinnen, CJ Mosley, bunch of good ones here. You get them all, but the biggest one being the Namath one for sure. And then we have the Copper Johns $50 gift card. Thank you to Tyson and Copper Johns for donating that. And then we'll give you an item in the merch store for our third winner. More of your calls right now. Barbarossa's next. Hey, Barbarossa.
What's going on, guys? Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Jake.
Happy Friday, my man. Always enjoy your calls.
All right. So first thing I just wanted to say, this is actually about the Jets. I think you just did a great job, like analyzing these different reports about the Jets, especially the Rossini article, and just the way you kind of just the Madden thing, and just talking about Woody and how, like, I really appreciate how you're objective, because I've definitely become a more like informed football fan and a Jets fan because of this show. Like, I definitely have. So I just appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like, just as a history teacher, like, I feel like reporters and historians, they do the same thing. Just one's about something that happens now, one's about something that happened like a million freaking years ago or whatever. Like, but I just I appreciate that. It was really good, and I definitely feel like Christmas time, a lot of my family Giants fans, people, they're going to be smack talking the Jets. Like, where's the hit article about how much they suck?
Hold on a second. If any Giants fan has the unmitigated gall, the audacity to trash talk a Jet fan, oh my God. Honestly, just wait. I have heard from someone that there's some Giant stuff coming. I don't know if it's going to be like,
there better be
The Athletic, but the Giants are they're a disaster. Everyone talks about Woody Johnson being impatient and firing people. How many coaches and GMs is John Mara going to go through over the last 10 years since Coughlin? Give me a break.
Yeah, they had a worse record than us last year too, if I remember right. So, and we beat them last year. They gave us the game. They literally just gave us the game. Great. But it will happen. It will happen. But I feel like I'm much more informed because of that. The second thing, I watched the Thursday night show on my way to work today. I could not. It was awesome. Could not stop, and I just couldn't stop thinking about the Star Wars analogy characters. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I would say yesterday's show, the second show, was one of the funnier shows we've had in a long time.
I wish I could have seen it live. Just, it was Lady Barbarossa's birthday. We went out to dinner, so there was that's the priority there, of course. But I was thinking on the way to work of some of the other characters in the show from callers. If you'd like me to share what I was thinking,
with that sweater you have on, absolutely.
Oh, this is entirely in jest. I'm not looking I'm not looking to get thrown in the hole by anybody. This is entirely in jest. But I felt like C-3PO and R2-D2 would be V-Man and B-Mac. I feel like that'd be a good. I feel like that'd be good for them. And I love those two characters. And this is, again, entirely in jest. Wouldn't Padme have to be Sarah?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, But Padme wasn't she a brunette in the?
Well, I mean,
in the
this is I mean, V-Man's not a robot, so I think
that's
it's
true. Yeah, we
just,
basically throw reality out the window.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. I mean, with Chewbacca, I wasn't entirely sure, but we need someone who's loud. And I know we have a couple of people who get loud on this channel.
Rob from Glenhead, could he be Chewbacca?
I have him. I have somebody else too. But I have Rob. I think Gator should be Han Solo, and you're Luke, of course. That's the. I think nobody's mentioned Luke. I'm like, obviously Jake is Luke, but I thought Charles should be Boba Fett. He's really popular. He's not bad or good. He just, he really but he's I think he's Boba Fett. And I think Cassian Andor is Chiefs fan because he's that's all I got so far.
I like this. There's something I think Boomtown is working on something too because he's a big Star Wars guy as well.
Yeah, as you can tell, I'm a big Star Wars guy too. Actually, the second thing I want to say about the Jets is just I've just kind of heard people talk about Mike Vrabel, and the more I've just read a little bit about him. He really does seem like a good, tough coach. And Bo made the same point about, and I think you did, about just coaches. The best ones need to tell you what you did wrong. And I wrestled in high school, and the best coaches I had told me what I did wrong right away, and they were up in your face. There was no BS about it. So I think that's what this team needs. They have all the talent in the freaking world, but every game it's the same story. Like we know, so it's just penalties and bullshit. So other than that, butter is still bad for you. It's bad. Lettuce is better, but cheers to everybody and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Barbarossa. Excellent call. That's a top 10 worthy call right there. A couple comments off that call. Gator says, me as Han Solo might be the greatest honor of my life. I'm not worthy. Love that. Kyle Clifton with a super chat. Gary is the Sarlacc. He's the Pitts. Jayquest says, great analogies. Gator says, Charles could be Chewy. Rob the Glenhead could be Jabba the Hutt, said My Holy King. Gator wrote Robert C. is Chewy. Mike wrote, who's Bobby in Star Wars? That's a good one. May the force be with you, Barbarossa. Excellent call. Tremendous. Now, we do have some housekeeping to attend to here. There's a take that I saw that when I first saw it, I couldn't believe what I was looking at here. But I got to find it, and I will find it, because if I don't find it now, this guy will get away with it, and I won't stand for such a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a comment here from a listener named Matthew Smith, and he says, Star Wars sucks. And to that I say, Matthew, you suck.
Into the shadow realm you go.
That's the problem with Aaron Rodgers. This guy is a cancer that's metastasized throughout the entire building in Florham Park. And I don't know why Jets fans can't see it.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
I'm still laughing at Kyle Clifton's super chat, total narcissist, referring to Gary. Honestly, there's a lot of rivalries amongst callers, amongst the Asmaniac community. One that doesn't get discussed enough is Kyle Clifford, what is he, the big red dog? Kyle Clifton's disdain for Gary. Chris writes, and Bobby sounds just like Kyle's cousin Kyle from South Park. I like the South Park comp. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to more of your calls right now. We got a couple of absolute legends on the line, and we'll do them back to back. First up, joining us right now on the Gustbuster hotline is a guy who was just referenced. We'll find out if he agrees with his Star Wars comp.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he no sleeping. Adios mío.
V-Man.
What was it? R2? Is it R2D2 or C3PO? I don't remember.
You were one of them. I forget which one though, to be honest.
I don't know if I'd be a droid. But yeah, to say Star Wars sucks, no. Just please no. Now you say Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy sucks. I would agree with you.
You were C3PO.
Well, let's see. I don't know if I feel like the butlery type, because it's basically what he was based off of, a butler. Actually, I'm right now in the retirement home playing dominoes with my grandfather.
Let's see. What's the move?
Well, no, we just finished a round. He just won. Yeah, he just won 2 rounds. He won 2 out of 3.
Es un amiguito de vencer. Es un amiguito de vencer.
¿Quién? ¿Un amiguito ese?
Es un amiguito de vencer.
Era bárbaro, ¿eh?
Dile hola. Dile a él hola.
¿Dile a qué?
Dile a él hola.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, that was making some talk in the background. Providing this, speaking of him. But yeah, no.
We're big fans of V Gramp on the show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so we'll just pack it up. But yeah, on the story about the Madden stuff, I don't even think Woody would pay attention. I mean, do you really think Woody understands how a video game console works to actually know these Madden results or to even look up Madden results? I mean, to say that he's picking player, he's thumbing up or down a trade based on Madden results. It's just absurd, and I don't see it based in any sense of reality. No, I'm not a stormtrooper. I can actually hit the target.
What about a storm pooper?
No, if I were probably a Star Wars character. Let's see. That's a good Star Wars character. One of my favorites. Probably. Let's see. Who's a good one? Who is a? No, not this year. I already had it for Thanksgiving, so let me see. Who's a good Star Wars character that would be? I think I would probably end up being. No, I'm not. No, I'm definitely not Poe Dameron. I'm trying to think of who I would actually be. There's so many great characters in this franchise, you know. I think I would probably. I think I'd probably be a Mandalorian. Well, a Mandalorian.
Would you be a sand person?
No.
No.
I think I would be. I can't remember his name right now.
What about Darth Maul?
No, I mean I can do a Palpatine voice, a bit of a Palpatine voice.
Mikey's Nut says, "Can we end this call?"
I would probably be like the first. I can't remember the character's name, but there's a Mandalorian. If you remember the dark saber from the Mandalorian, that saber was created by the.
Mike, you know what to do if you want this call to end.
All right, look. Yeah, no, I think I'd be a Mandalorian. I think I'd probably be a Mandalorian. I think if I were any characters from Star Wars.
Brian says, "Yes, please, new segment." V-Man, you're not winning over the Asmaniacs today. You gotta give us something. Oh, there it is. He knows he's playing the hits. He's like, I'll put V-Paw right back on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Okay.
So, do we have anything else to say? Any more wise words of wisdom to give the Jets audience?
That's not nice.
Yeah, todo jugado.
There's no words for the Jets in what you
Yeah, no. I don't think he's got any wise words of wisdom. I think that I was going to tell you this hilarious story that happened. So I was putting out some mice traps in my attic to get rid of mice. I put them in a paper bag so you wouldn't see them. I go upstairs this afternoon to check on them, and the mouse stole the fucking trap. I have no idea how they managed to do that. It's like I look in the paper bag, the trap is gone. That's it. I gotta get going.
B-Man.
Okay.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the time.
All right.
That's the end of that B-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
How high was B-Man there? Good Lord. Mike D's Nuts says, I just got a migraine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello to the big fella who's next. Hey, big fella.
Hey, man. Hey, can we talk a bit about Graziano and just the media in general, shitting on the Jets and the players and stuff like that? You know, it's getting a little old. You know, it's been going on for a while. I don't know what this guy – I can understand what this guy Graziano has a problem with Rodgers about, but do your freaking job. You know, stop injecting your personal beliefs in your reporting,
and also stop the personal attacks too, man. Like we've gotten so far away from like decorum and like sports analysis now. It's out of control.
I know it's like it's more of a personality. It's like who's got the best personality, who will give you the most access. Report on the freaking sport. Let the people, you know, give them the information and let them decide. Stop injecting your bullshit into what they're, you know, into, you know, your broadcasts and stuff like that. It's really infuriating. So
I agree with you. I agree with you.
You know, so anyway, I mean, the thing, he's calling Rodgers a con man. He's saying this nonsense.
Like everything you hear from his teammates, past or present. You watch this Netflix doc, and they have the whole chapter about him mentoring Jordan Love and how great he was to him, and he wasn't asked to do it. And LaFleur's like, we were blown away by how Aaron took him in under his, but like that never gets covered because it doesn't fit the narrative that he's this bad guy, bad teammate. And you know, they cover it in the doc, right? The whole like, you know, I'm immunized comment and how, you know, everything that did pre and post, and you know, that's where most of this comes from, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. It's, you know, you're supposed to talk about sports. You're not supposed to talk about politics. You're not supposed to talk about any of that stuff. Focus on your job and keep the other stuff out of the way. That's all I have to say about Graziano.
I agree. Now we do have to get to some business with you, big fella.
Yeah, sure.
You've been hounding Bobby Midnight to pick up some vitamins that you paid for him to try and get healthy. Is there any update on Vitamin Gate?
I came into, you know, some good news today. Bobby did get his vitamins. Okay. Bobby got his vitamins. The picture was posted on the Discord Nick show, and you know, it's a good thing because last night I was pissed, man. I was pissed, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll cancel this walking pad thing. Because if he's not going to do the simple thing of getting vitamins, why the hell am I doing that? So, but he got the vitamins. The walking pad's on the way. Should be there Monday. And hopefully he gets a little healthy. You know what I mean?
That's good news. Are you concerned with some of these outbursts against fellow Asmaniacs over the last couple of days?
I listen, and I think Bobby's hangry. I think he's a little bit hangry. Also, I think he's taking in a lot of protein and maybe like messing with his body, raising testosterone levels and things like that. We'll see, you know. I mean, I don't think he should be going off on people, you know, but well, you know, I mean, I love Bobby. I can't really rag on him too much, you know. I'm trying to get him healthy, you know, but you know, I guess we'll see. I mean, sometimes it goes a little too far, like with the BMAC thing was a little too far, I thought. And, you know, I admire that Bobby's trying to defend people and stuff like that, but sometimes people got to defend themselves. You know what I mean?
That's well said. Well, I got some good news for you, big fella. Yeah. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the vitamins.
There you go. Good job, Bobby.
Yep. We got it.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Now listen, man.
What?
Yeah. You have been having a little bit of outbursts lately, which you know I can understand because when I was on a diet,
we and Jake already squashed those. I was in the wrong to make fun of Craig and Santa Claus.
Bobby and I are all good. I'm a Bobby guy. Everyone who watches the show knows there's no one that's a bigger Bobby Midnight guy than me.
Yeah, Bobby, we're all in it for you to get healthy, man, because we love you. And you know, I know. You gotta take it easy. one step at a time. You know, I mean, stress can actually, when you get angry, you know, it causes, you know, stress, and that's not a good thing for you either. You know what I mean?
No, we already squashed that. Beef, me and him, and I'm fine.
But I am happy that you got the vitamins, man.
I should have said that about Craig. That was not nice for what I said.
No, everybody has their moments, you know. Everybody has their moments, but the thing is, you have your moments, but you got to limit your moments. You know, don't let it.
But I normally don't step over Jake. But yesterday I made a mistake. I stepped over Jake.
Why don't you like Santa Claus, by the way, Bobby?
I apologize to Santa Claus.
No. But he's not actually Santa Claus. He's David T. But do you have an actual problem with Santa Claus?
No, David T.
But listen back to the beginning. Listen back to the beginning of the tape here.
Shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You fucking eye. He looks like Santa Claus.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that you have no issue with Santa Claus himself. You had an issue with David T, who resembles Santa Claus.
Bobby, that's your Irish coming out, man.
I know that was my. I apologize to David T, and I already apologize to B Mac. We're cool.
Yeah.
Too, so I try to like everybody.
Yeah,
There's only one person I really don't like is South Ass. That's the only person I really don't like.
Well, we know South Ass has to go.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
He's in your chat. So
and you know Ted and Alan. You know, I like them too. I like Ted and Alan too, but they're trying to stir the pot with you, my friend.
Nobody stirs the pot more than Ted. I mean, Ted started the whole thing yesterday.
You know, and then when you get amped up, you know, it makes them like.
Well, Jay took the course of Ted at Ted U. Pot stirrer 101.
I did. I graduated from Ted U. But this is how this all started yesterday.
With flying colors too.
Look what Ted has the audacity to say on a day a Jet hit piece came out. Look at these comments that got the whole thing going yesterday.
Well, I'm staying on. I don't give a rat for that.
How much Jets content do we really need at this point?
No, he said planning on going live around 5:30. Oh, a lot happened then to discuss. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, a lot. Yeah, no, I'm staying right here. We're going.
A little comment from Ted. How much Jet content do we even need? As if there's not new developments daily with this team, specifically yesterday.
Because we got to need who the coach is, the general manager. Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers comes.
That's why I love y'all. It's one big dysfunctional family. So,
it is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
dysfunctional.
so
I am very dysfunctional.
Tom Ace, how much Jets content do we really need at this point? That's a masterclass right there. That's why he's the professor. He's the dean, man. He's Ted U.
Yeah. Professor Emeritus.
I'm the one who called him the pot stirrer. Then I said everybody takes this course at the tip.
Hey, you were straight up 100% right with that, man. You sure were.
I was right. Yes.
Yep,
he
were.
does. And then Jake got a hold of the class, so he got it. Some of the extra if he took all my classes.
Jake is an adjunct professor at TED U.
I took a class. You know, Ted took me under his wing. He mentored me. I appreciate it.
Armand classes some of the XGFU go because he's in Florida.
Wow.
I thought that was funny. Okay, see, I'm calmed down now. See,
yeah. See, this is the Bobby that we need, man. This is the Bobby that we need.
Yeah,
we don't need a little pit bull getting at everybody's throats. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. I am a pit bull. I'm Irish. What can I tell you? I'm Irish in New York. I love these pills. I just took one today. See, I opened. Good.
Make sure you stick with that, okay? Because you're gonna.
I am definitely because you know what it has in it too. I even take the which I hate these pills. I hate what's that? It's in bananas. What you could get in bananas. Potassium.
Yeah.
I hate. Look at these pills. Okay. Look at these pills. I have to take. They're freaking horse pills, and they're huge. See if you can see it. See how big they are?
Oh yeah, wow.
I have to suck on them to just get down.
Whoa. It's a family show.
Yeah, look how big. And then
on behalf of the Jake Asman Show, we apologize for the foul language.
At least I could get this done without,
What happened to your internet,
getting
Bobby?
down.
Why is it all blurry?
I don't know. Maybe my camera's a mess.
No, I think there might be a storm or something going by you.
We have it snowing out there.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the multivitamin. See how smaller it is compared to what I hit?
Yep.
So it has. I might not even take this horse pill anymore. So I'm getting my potassium in the other.
Bobby, you have to talk to your doctor if you're going to stop taking something. Also, you know what I mean?
All right, I'll take the horse pill.
You have to talk to your doctor. You have to do that because.
Yeah, I will. No, I forgot to call him up today about my diet, my butter diet.
Well,
I told him people.
Keep up the good work, man.
At least you kicked my ass and to save. Well, Nick was going to tell me if you didn't get the vitamins today, he would shut down my channel for good. That's what he said.
Well,
good.
Yeah,
sometimes it takes drastic measures for you to realize something, man.
Well, remember, I need somebody to kick me in ass to take my medicine. Remember how bad I was back in.
I remember. I was kicking your ass there too. Yeah. So.
Well, I'm glad we have a happy ending to this story. All right. Well done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Bobby, keep up the good work, man.
I love you. I love you, Jake.
Right.
I love everybody.
Have a
Big
good
fella, Bobby Midnight, everyone. Sing it.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
All right, we got time for another call here. First, I want to acknowledge JR Jet Super Chat. Haven't caught the show live in a while. Been hectic at work. Hashtag Jet Up. Hashtag Asmaniacs for life. Shout out to you, JR. Great to meet you at the Halloween game. A nice night for the Jets. A rare one. That was a fun night. It was good to see you that night. Let's say hello to Parker, who will likely be the final caller. What's up, Parker?
What's up, Jake, man? I've been watching your show every day for I don't know, probably as long as it's been out. I live up in Northeast New York on the border of Vermont. So,
wow.
Yeah, just want to call in, say what's up. I went to a couple of Jets games this year. I couldn't find tailgate because I ain't good in the city by any means. I live up where your sister, cousin, wife's all the same woman, up in the middle of nowhere. So, so I'm the guy who texted in saying, I think Bob sounds identical to Kyle's cousin, Kyle from South Park.
Yeah, that's a good
count.
count.
Seen that episode? When I first started listening to the show, he calls in. I'm like, I used to own an auto garage, and me and my buddy are sitting there working on a truck. He's like, what the fuck you listen to South Park? Excuse my language. What are you listening to South Park for? I'm like, I'm used to some kid who calls into the show. But, yeah, love the stuff you do, man, and keep up the good work, buddy. It's awesome.
Hey, Parker, nice to meet you, man. Appreciate you calling in, and call back more. All right, we got to have more takes from you.
No, I definitely will. But, one last question: where in Vermont does Bob live? Do you know?
Yes, he lives in Brattleboro, Vermont.
Okay.
I don't know if that's near you or not.
Yeah, it's about my girl works up in Brattleboro, so yeah, that ain't too bad. So home. Okay.
All right. Well,
maybe
you and Bobby Midnight will hang out. Yeah, maybe you guys will hang out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go sneak up on him. I don't know. I'm gonna knock him over or something. But all righty, buddy. You have a good rest of your day now.
Parker, appreciate it, man. Good call. I said that was going to be the last call, but it's not often this guy calls in on this show, so we got to go to him. Ladies and gentlemen, 25 is on the line. 25. Hello, 25.
Women. I still don't understand what he meant. Like, that made me have more questions than answers. In what context do you tell somebody you're talking to women?
Let's review the tape.
Women.
That's what he said, right? That he was talking to like somebody that he's interested in. What's the context there?
I don't know.
Gary's saying that we've all been there. What do you mean we've all been there?
This one was weird too.
Butt plugs.
So I don't know what's going on.
Crazy. Just 1 point, really. I mean, well, I guess 2 points. The first point is to me, all of this is just noise. It's New York. The drama gets clicks. It's more or less about a big headline than the actual story being true or whether it means anything. If Woody hires the right people, he'll sit back like this and not have to worry about anything.
Who cares that's how it was with Rex. That's the last time they were good. That's what it was, right? I mean, like they got to do everything they wanted to do. I mean, yeah, it's just he's got to have faith in the people he's hiring. It's clear he lost faith in Douglas and Saleh, which is why the mistake he made was not firing them at the end of last year. If he was going to meddle the way he reportedly did in the offseason, then Obviously, Sal only got 5 games, so we clearly mentally fired him. He's never fired a coach in season. But, the one thing Woody could push back on is say, I'm not known to be a meddler. Like, I give my guys a lot of time. Like, look at the history of Woody Johnson and the amount of time these coaches and GMs got, despite not winning all that much, especially from 2011 on. Like Mike McCagnon got 4 years. Joe Douglas was in year 6. Like, we can't say these guys didn't get time. Robert Saleh was in his 4th year. Adam Gase never should have been hired, but he wasn't even fired in season. He got 2 full years. The only candidate that he didn't give a long time to was Izek, but Izek was so bad the first 2 years, and that was such a mess. You had to fire him and start over.
Didn't he give Gase a full season? Didn't Gase get a full season?
You got 2 full seasons.
Yeah, that's so that notion is just absurd,
right?
And he needs to hire people that he can trust that do the job, because clearly when he's meddling, he does nothing but make it worse. Nothing. Last point, and I'll make it quick, is that the idea that this job is unattractive or that another job would be more attractive, I just don't see it. I mean, you could say the Bears. Oh, well, what if New England? It's like, okay, they might have a few things that are attractive, but like, you're getting the biggest media market. If you win here, you're treated like a legend, like a god, and there's talent. You're going to get a good draft pick. You're going to get full control. Like, there's a lot to look forward to and to get somebody excited about this job for sure.
There's just not a whole lot of like perfect jobs. That's why these jobs are available in the first place. And if you're a good coach, you look at it like, hey, I could turn this around, because you got to have that ego and that mentality that has allowed you to have the type of success you need to even be in the mix to get one of these jobs in the first place. Like, the Lions job wasn't attractive when Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes took those positions. They made it what it is. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I think that there was things that made them look forward to the future where it could be what it is today. And that's the same thing with the Jets. There's a lot of things that you can say, okay, well, with what we have here moving forward with some changes, I mean, playoffs, maybe next year close to it. And then the year after that, we're in it. Who knows?
I'm with you. Now, Rick Kent just threw you a tomato. I thought you guys squashed the beef.
Yeah, I tried. He's the only person I've ever went at and probably will go at unless somebody else comes at me first. But I mean, I'm down. I'm down to talk to him.
Oh, he was kidding.
I
Okay,
got nothing
that's
against
good.
him.
Okay, good. All right.
I think I'm starting to come around to certain people. I don't know. I've been spending a lot of time in the chat.
Yeah, you've done. I think you've done a nice job. 25. I mean, you came up and in at an OG, and rightfully you got attacked, but I think you've handled yourself well.
Him, Nate, Rick Kent, all the OGs of the channel, they gave me some swirlies, kept my head down there for a little bit, maybe a little longer than needed, but I think I'm good now. I love
it.
All right, man. Women, see you later.
25 chicken. That was pretty funny how the Rob impersonation at the top. That was well done. All right, what a show. Thank you to everyone who watched. Another 4 hours of Jets content talking about a 4-10 team. It is always something. Reminder, if you missed the announcement at the top of the show, post-game show won't start till 8 on Sunday. I am doing a show tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. I have a big-time guest joining us for the first time in a while. This is a guy I'm a big fan of. This is a guy that has been on the show before, and the audience knows him well. Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7 is hopping on tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So we've had Green Bean on. We've had Matt on. We haven't had Ryan on in a while, so we'll get Ryan on the show tomorrow morning. Thank you to everyone who tuned in. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. Before you go, a reminder, if you want merch, jakeasman.com/shop. Patreon members, 15% off every item. And if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. It's the best way to support me as we continue making this show, the show you come to love. Win or lose, we'll be here for you. Thanks again to everyone who tuned in. And I'm going to end the show with something I saved for last. Jets Johnny sent me a Bobby Midnight rap after the events of yesterday. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the world premiere of Bobby Midnight by Jets Johnny. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now for perhaps the final time ever on this show to Bobby Midnight.
Had the world Bobby, but it slipped from your hands. Turn your back on your own, now it leave you in the can. Took the fame, let it blind your vision. Now you're left in the dust, caught in indecision. Lesson in loyalty is more than talk. If you walk the path of pride, we'll tear your ass apart. B-Max a switch, you were rooted in trust. Now you're crumbling, betray what's just. Ted whispers like Palpatine in the night. Got you selling out, swallowed by blight. now you're adrift, lost trying to reform. You wanted the throne, but it's made of glass. One slip and you're a memory of the past. Anakin switched sides, but he knew the cost. You're a traitor in plain sight, honors being lost. Played the game, but you folded the hand. Now you're left with nothing, just brains in the sand. Loyalty's a fire, not a candle you snuff. You blew out the flame, now your path's getting rough. Bobby, you're a mirror, crack your heart to restore. Redemption's a mountain, can you reach the top? Oh, we know you had the power, now it's slipping away. Chasing shadows, but the light starts to decay. You gamble your trust, now it's buried in debt. A kingdom of lies is all that you get. The crown you sought, now it rusts on your brow. Is this redemption? Oh, just a plummet from now you had it all, now it's faded away. The Asmaniacs stand, but they won't stay. Repent, Bobby, fix what you done, or you watch the loyalty you built come undone. You know, honestly, man, I'm tired of all this shit, bro, cause there's a lot of shit way bigger than this, and I fucking love you, Bobby. We lost Keith, man, a true Asmaniac. His fight was fierce, his loyalty intact. Cancer took him, but his spirit remains. A warrior's heart unbroken by pain. Don't let Keith's fight be in vain. Loyalty's deeper than that superficial gain. Showed us how to stand tall, never break. You're one step away from fixing the stakes. The Asmaniac stand, but we're fractured thin. You can heal the wounds, but it's up to you, my friend. It's never too late to set things right. Stand with us in the fight. Love you, Bobby.